Hello and welcome to Around the ICC. I'm your host Matteo Bonetti, and this week we'll take a look at the hottest topics from around the European leagues. And let's start with a whip around of those top 5 leagues. Starting in the Premier League, where the battle for the final Champions League place was all the rage. And in this regard, West Ham vs Chelsea on Saturday was really the ultimate fight for 4th place, with Timo Werner scoring the winner and his first goal for Chelsea in the Premier League since mid-February. It was only his 6th goal of the season, but an all-important one as his side now has that slender 3-point lead in 4th place. Jesse Lingard, bizarrely enough, didn't score. And if you've been following this show lately, you'll know that his incredible performances have nearly brought us to the point of having to dedicate an entire segment of the show to Jesse Lingard watch every single week. Drama in La Liga as Real Madrid got their 2nd draw in the last 3 match days, only being able to pick up 1 point against Real Betis, meaning that Barcelona, with a game in hand, is currently level on points with Los Blancos after an Antoine Griezmann brace gave Barca a 2-1 win over the Yellow Submarine Villarreal. But more importantly, Atletico Madrid lost 2-1 to Athletic Club de Bilbao, which means that Barcelona's destiny is in their hands as they can go first by winning their game in hand. The loss to Atleti's 2nd in their last 5 domestic games, which has allowed Real Madrid and Barcelona to make up ground. So much Liga, it's not even funny. In Serie A, Juventus drew against 14th place Fiorentina, meaning that the risk of finishing outside the top 4 is greater than ever, given that they have both Atalanta and Napoli breathing down their neck. At the bottom of the table, there was some crazy drama with Cagliari winning 3 games in a row, meaning that they have currently gone level with Benevento in that 17th place, with both teams fighting for their lives to stay in the top flight. And just to finish things out, it is now a legit 3-horse race in Ligue 1, with the difference between PSG, Monaco and Lille being less than 2 points at the top of the table, led by the striking duo of Wissam Ben Yedder and Kevin Volland, who have combined for 33 Ligue 1 goals. Monaco have gone 9 undefeated and are throwing their hat in the ring alongside PSG and Lille to make sure that the final month of the season in France is as dramatic as we've had in a very long time. The Champions League semi-finals are this week, and there are 2 really intriguing fixtures to look at. We'll start with Chelsea vs Real Madrid first, and Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea that will feel a little bit better about their chances this week after the injuries that Real Madrid has once again had to deal with. Sergio Ramos has only recently started recovering from his calf problem, and he will not be available, while Lucas Vazquez is out for the season with ligament damage. Another important defender, Ferland Mendy, has muscular issues, while Federico Valverde is tested positive for COVID, but most importantly, Toni Kroos has been kept out of the last few La Liga games with an injury, and as you might know, he's been a huge part of Madrid's midfield. However, there is a chance that Eden Hazard could play against his former club as he came off the bench for 13 minutes over the weekend against Real Betis. Hazard was supposed to be the new icon of Real Madrid when they spent over 100 million euro to bring him over from Chelsea, but he's only started 20 league games in 2 seasons and only scored 3 goals, which is nowhere near the durability he showed at Chelsea, where he was a superstar. In the other 2-legged affair, Pep Guardiola will take Manchester City to their 2nd ever Champions League semi-final against last season's runner-up, Paris Saint-Germain. The most exciting matchup in this game has to do with the incredible talent of PSG up front, going up against a much improved City defense led by rising superstar Ruben Dias. Now, Guardiola knows the danger of playing a high line against a team that has the quickest player in the world in Kylian Mbappe, who can absolutely torch a high line, and Neymar, who's healthy and has been putting together some really strong performances as of late and has a great chemistry with Mbappe when they're playing in close proximity. Guardiola has been rotating players in the Premier League as they've had a sizable lead at the top for a very long time in the table in an effort to keep players healthy while playing a congested calendar in multiple competitions. A player that should be starting who I really want you to keep an eye out on is Phil Foden, who has been thriving under the bright lights this season and has received so much praise from Pep this season. Foden has scored 14 goals in all competitions this season, and at only 20 years old, it's time to start talking about him as one of the next generational stars of the game for the next decade and maybe even beyond. So this weekend we did something even more creative than usual for our best 11, and that's trying to find the best lineup of every teammate Zlatan Ibrahimovic has ever had. And let me tell you, this might be one of the most legendary starting 11s that I've put together. When you think of the teams Zlatan has played for, Juventus, Inter, Milan, Barcelona, PSG, Manchester United, there was a wealth of riches to choose from. So let's start as usual with the goalkeeper, and that's of course Gigi Buffon, who was Zlatan's teammate at Juventus in the mid-2000s. The backline is simply insane. Javier El Pupi Zanetti, the lifelong Inter right back, with Lilian Thuram and Fabio Cannavaro as the other two center backs in that defense. Both of Juventus. The midfield, though, is a who's who of legends, former Ballon d'Or winner Pavel Nedved, the Barcelona duo of Xavi and Iniesta, Patrick Vieira, and of course Andrea Pirlo, who played with Ibra at Milan. Now let's move up top, and it's back to Zlatan's lone 2010 season with Barcelona, where he found himself alongside a 20-year-old Lionel Messi and the French striker Thierry Henry. Simply put, this helps anyone realize who might have forgotten just how incredible Ibra's career was when he was able to have a significant impact on so many teams that had world-class players across the board, and of course, more importantly, winning trophies. Pep Guardiola against 29-year-old manager Ryan Mason, a matchup I did not expect to be talking about a few weeks ago, but here we are. Manchester City won their 4th Carabao Cup in a row, as Aymeric Laporte's goal was the difference in the League Cup final against Tottenham, who just a week ago sacked their manager Jose Mourinho. City were once again too much for their opposition, with solid displays from Riyad Mahrez on the flank and the usual brilliance that we've seen this season from Phil Foden. It was pretty dominating stuff, the high press, sending tons of bodies forward. Certainly not the ideal matchup for a rookie manager like Mason, looking to take over the reins and bring Spurs to a more positive place. But what really struck me about City was how good they were in the first half, with the dynamism and the creativity from the central attacking midfielders Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden together, added with the jack of all trades, master of all, Joao Cancelo, who seems to play like 10 different positions during the course of a game. In the end, 63 possession for City, 17 shots to 1. The stats and the trophy both going in the favor of Manchester City. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us here on Around the ICC. You can follow me at Bonetti on Twitter, follow the ICC at INT Champions Cup on Twitter, at International Champions Cup on both Facebook and Instagram, and check out the new ICC website for a new feature where you can now follow along the live score of all the big European matches. I'm Matteo Bonetti, and I'll see you next week.